Hey, welcome back to the channel Love on Two Wheels. I'm your host Howard Hunt, aka Freeze, and it's so good to see you again. I know it's been some time, but today we're going to talk about heat management. When we come right back, hit that intro. Alright, hey, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been some time. Things got in the way between work and school, but I'm back. I miss my passion of talking to you, making videos for the people, and I just missed it. So I'm back again. And this time we're going to talk about a little bit of heat management. So, many of you who ride Milwaukee 8s understand that if you have anything stock, exhaust, headers, everything else, your leg is pretty much going to fall off. There's just no other way around it. Your leg's gonna fall. It's just hot. There's a lot of heat that builds up around here, and I think it's the higher the displacement is nowadays, because that heat didn't always used to be there in the past with 107s, 103s, etc. There was always some warm air, but now it's just intense heat, and it feels like my leg is gonna fall off. And that's how it was for the last couple of years. So I was a little bit late to the game, so I decided to go ahead and change out my headers. If you remember, I did change out. I did get a stage 1, so I just put on the slip-ons and I changed out the air filter. So there's an S&S air filter behind here, and I'm gonna work on getting a new cover for this as well. But that helped out some, but it did nothing for the heat management. So recently, I went ahead and I did a matching because I have the Chromeworks slip-ons. I went on ahead and added the Chromeworks headers all the way through here and the pipes. And so we used the stock heat deflectors, or the heat shields rather. We're using the stock heat shields. So you really can't tell what's going on underneath there, but you can hear the big difference. And we'll show you that in just a little while. But when I changed out the headers, first of all, it sounds fantastic. It seems to have more of a response in the throttle. And it does ride much cooler on the lower leg and the ankles, where I was having most of the problem. But there's still some heat coming out of these cylinders, of course, right? It's a big engine, it's a big V-twin, so yeah, it is going to have some heat. But it went from my leg, now it's moved up to the thigh up here. And I guess I didn't notice it much because most of the pain was down here in my lower leg and my ankles. But there's some heat coming off of here, off the thigh, off the cylinders here. So I decided to go ahead and get some Mid Frame Heat Deflectors. So that would kind of deflect the heat and the air back downwards. And since this is running much cooler, we shouldn't see a noticeable difference. So I went ahead and went on Amazon and I got some heat deflectors, and we're going to go ahead and get that installed. All right. Let me go grab them over here. I left them over there. Let me go grab the heat deflectors and we'll be right back. So I went on Amazon and I bought these heat deflectors, as you can see here. And I like these only because it's a matte color. They come in different colors, or glossies or whatnot. And you can get these heat deflectors from Advan Black in the different colors, although it does not come in industrial grade denim. So, and I didn't want to wait another 6 to 8 weeks, because anything I've gotten from Advan Black takes almost 2.5, 3 months, to arrive. So I want one of these pretty quickly. So I went on Amazon and got these for, I don't know, less than 30 bucks. And they do come in a gloss black and matte black and some other colors and flavors that you may enjoy. But you can see a lot of the bike is denim and matte. So I'm okay with the matte black. I think this is basically an unpainted, as you can look at it, it's really just unpainted. And that's okay with me. The important thing for me is to decrease some of this heat, and I think it'll fit. It'll look just fine, and we'll go ahead and get that installed. It's kind of dummy proof. Some of them, depending on where you get your deflectors from, it'll have either a left or right symbol on there. Some of them will have on the bottom an R or an L. This one, if you hold it at the right angle, you may be able to see this. It says right. But here's one good area where you can kind of figure it out. The deflectors come in pairs, right and the left. The right side will always have these 2 holes here at the top. As you'll see in just a little bit, the left side only has 1 hole. So that's kind of a rule of thumb. The right side with 2 holes, the left side with just 1. And I guess that's just the match up here, as well as the different holes are different configurations depending on the models of the model of your touring motorcycle. I think prior to the Milwaukee 8s, the holes they line up just a little bit differently, as well as whether or not Harley installed the hole with the threads or not. The Milwaukee 8s does have the hole with the threads, so the first screw should work. Now the hardware you'll get are some bolts. Well, of course you'll get the deflectors, you'll get some bolts, some flat washers, and you'll also get this nut. Now, depending on where you get your deflectors from, I did notice that some of them don't come with all the hardware. Some of them only come with just the bolts and the washer and not anything to hold the nuts in. Because there's holes listed up under here you might not be able to see. It's a little dark in here. It's hot outside. I didn't want to be outside in the sun. Still sweating just a little bit, but we can move forward to that. There's some holes that will line up here. On the right side, it's a little bit different. We do have to manage to move some things out of the way, and we'll go over that in just a moment. Under here, you've got the spark plugs. You will have to remove this first spark plug on both the right side and the left side, and you just kind of pop that out. I've already went ahead and popped this out for you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove this little plastic piece. And because on here, there's actually a routing clip where you'll route that spark plug cable onto this clip right here, and it'll be on the same thing for the left side as well. Y'all ready? Let's get to it. So we're going to make sure that this is going to line up pretty good. Again, you may not be able to see it all very close up. It's just me right now. My wife's a little busy, so we're going to work this out as best as we can. But these holes, the bottom hole here and we're going to line up either the top hole or the bottom hole of these two here to make sure which one lines up better. And I'm going to kind of poke my finger through here. This hole here, as well as right under the frame, I guess kind of a few inches away from the engine, there's another hole here where you'll line it up. So we'll go ahead and install this. It just comes with a 10mm bolt, a flat washer, and I got some Loctite to help it kind of thread it in there just a little bit easier. So once we get this lined up, we'll know exactly which hole that we're going to use. Just realize I'm going to be in need of a proper garage chair, shop chair. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so now we got that. Let's go ahead and add a little Loctite here, just a little. And maybe a little more than a little. But a little bit is just all you need. It's a little tight in here if you got big fingers like I do, but if you get it started, and then you can use your 10mm ratchet to finish it off. That should help. Now you don't want to tighten it up too tight because it is plastic, and I just want to get it just enough until I can get that lined up so we can start on the other side. Now, this side I'm going to have to guide it in just a little bit from the back side of the frame here, just to make sure that we hit our mark. So let me go ahead and add a little Loctite to this one. Just a pinch, kind of like cooking. All right, and this hole should line up directly. If we do it right, we should catch it. Yeah, I think I caught it. Yeah, I can feel it lining up already. All right, so we'll finish it up again with the 10mm ratchet and tighten up the top side. so enough hot in here. But if I shut that garage door, it's gonna be burning up. All right, one final tug on here. Again, you want to make sure that you don't over tighten it. This is plastic. You don't want to torque it down too much because it will crack, and over time it'll just wear out. So just be careful with that. A few hand cranks should do the trick. Now the top one, where it's threaded at, that will take about a minute. The threads are deep and it has to go all the way through, so it took a little extra minute. I did cut it off a little bit so you wouldn't see the whole thing, but you'll be sitting there for a minute. You'll think that it's not tightening up, but it will. All right, just give it some time, be a little patient. And you'll notice here, one thing I forgot to mention was that I did have to take the saddlebags off as well as the side cover, just to get access behind this frame. On the left side, it's a little bit different. It's very similar. You're gonna install it the exact same way. However, on the left side, you have the fuse box panel. That you'll have to loosen up the bolts on the side, move it out of the way so you'll get access into the right here behind the frame. The fuse box is a little bit closer, so you'll have to move that out of the way just a tad so you can install your deflector, then tighten everything back up. I won't bore you with that side. If you got any questions, go ahead and give me a shout out. Leave the comments below, and I'll go ahead and finish the left side. I'll show you the finished product. All right, in a minute. So here you go. Here's the final product. Let me get you a little close up of this. Here's the right side heat deflector, which was the easier side. And we've got the left side heat deflector. Look at that. It almost looked, from a different light, it doesn't even look black. It looks like it matches the actual color of the bike, which is denim gray. But it is black, it is matte black, and I think that's what you call an unpainted color or non-color, so to speak. But just to let you know, this side was a little bit more difficult because there's a little less room behind this. Behind here, let me just show you. Take this back off here. Behind here, you've got the fuse box and everything that, you have the small fuses, the main fuse, the 50 amp mains fuse, and you have to unscrew these two bolts here, move it out of the way to get behind here. There's a little less room back there, so it takes a little bit longer. It actually took me 2 or 3 times as long to actually get everything on there. However, it works, it's on. You just got to finagle a little bit, adjust your movements, and you can get it on. It's not difficult, it just takes a little bit more patience. But it works. I'll just hold this off to the side for the moment before I put it back on. But tell me what you think. If you have any questions, I hope this was able to help you. For anybody that's riding an M8, Milwaukee 8, later model, again, it does get extremely hot. There are several ways to kind of reduce that heat and cool it. You're not going to cool the engine, but you're going to make it cooler on you and make it a little more comfortable for you to ride. One thing I would suggest, go ahead and spend a little money. If you have a Harley, you're already going to spend some money anyway, so go ahead and invest in you a new set of headers, and make sure the headers and the pipe that you buy aftermarket does not have a catalytic converter. That is where most of the heat bounds up and radiates onto your leg, your thigh. If you ride with a passenger, I don't. I'm normally riding solo. I do carry a tour pack, but if you have anybody that has a passenger, they're going to feel it a lot worse than you. So I would suggest go ahead and get you a new header and pipe combination. If you don't already have slip-ons, go ahead and invest in some slip-ons. That will reduce the heat coming onto your leg and your ankles, especially if you're a tall guy like me. It'll reduce that heat. And if you do have a passenger, they'll thank you for it. Again, there will be some more heat coming off these cylinders here, so you're going to want to invest in some mid-air heat deflectors. You can get them anywhere: eBay, Amazon, Advan Black, JP Cycles, Dennis Kirk, you name it. All the above. Everybody sells them. They come in different configurations, different colors. etc., etc. So tell me what you think. If you like this video, go ahead and please subscribe. To all my subscribers so far, I do appreciate you. I know I've been away for some time, but I'm back. You'll be seeing me a lot more often. There'll be more videos coming out. If you like these videos, tell your friends, tell your family. This is just a build-up period. Again, I do appreciate everybody that makes comments, subscribes, and watches all the videos. The more you subscribe, the more videos I can make, and we'll keep it going on and on and on. We're going to do some traveling here shortly. We've got a few trips planned, so I'll be putting on the different helmet, my camera helmet, and you'll be coming up on a ride with me, all right? Until then, I'll see you soon. Later.